Hello, I'm PS3 and welcome back to QnA Saturday. QnA Saturday is a weekly series I run on my channel where I answer your questions about a variety of subjects, usually centered around the next major update for Minecraft console. We're currently calling that next major update TU43, and a lot of these questions are about that, but they're also just about other variety things in general. And if you want to ask any questions for next week's Q&A, because these all come from last week's, then you can leave them in the comments down below. And while you're down there anyway, I very much appreciate a like on the video because it helps out the channel. And let us know you do like Q&A Saturday. It's one of my favourite series to do at this point, so if you want to keep on seeing more of it, then yeah, that's the best way to let me know. But with that said, let's get straight into the first question already, because a key part of the Q&A Saturday is the queue, and it comes in from Natalie Guelzo. I probably got that wrong, but they say, hashtag QnA. Why has it taken so long to get the 1.9 update for console? So I think the question is a little bit flawed, because by the time 1.9 comes out, we're assuming November, December, it will have been 11 or 12 months since the 1.8 update for console, which sounds like a long time, like a full year for a single update, but then you've got to consider that 1.9 on the PC took a full 18 months from, between 1.8 and 1.9 versus 11 or 12. So that's faster, considering you've got to, they've got to reprogram the whole thing from scratch on the console, then they've got to optimize the game so it still runs, plus you've got to consider that in this, 12-month gap, as opposed to the 18 months on PC, nothing. 12 months on the console, you've had too many games, new maps, the Super Mario mashup. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's taken too long comparatively, but if you just mean why is it taken a full year, this is a really big update for a lot of different reasons. It's one of the biggest updates ever. They rechanged all of the combat. The end has an entirely different purpose. Getting that to work on console is kind of a big deal. And just all these things together, you can kind of see why it's a big update to kind of optimize and to get the consoles to run properly. So yeah, why has it taken so long? Because updates take a lot of time, and especially when they're this big. I think the 1.10 update, when that later comes, or if it's combined with this, will probably be a little bit faster than a whole year. You could see it at the middle of next year, but we'll have to see how that does turn out. Maybe they'll bundle it with 1.11. But yeah, I'll answer your question, why has it taken so long? Because updates take some time, and it's actually faster than the PC equivalent. So yeah, with that said, let's move to the next question, which comes in from Kenny Stimpson, who says, do you think 4J will implement the new end as a separate world or an extension? Also, when do you look at comments for Q&A Saturday? I usually look at some point in the middle of the week. If you don't know, I record these usually Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, unless I know there's big news coming out then. So I don't know, if just before this video went live, there was a big announcement that, 1.9 is already out, then I guess I'll just unlist the video. But that's why sometimes something gets referenced a bit. But yeah, I usually look on Wednesday or Thursday. And as a little pro tip for anyone that does stuff, I would recommend getting the spelling right, because whenever I see a comment that's like poor grammar or poor spelling, for some reason I assume that person just lazily scribbled it. I don't know, there's something bias in my head that I feel like everyone has, but maybe it is just me, where whenever I see a comment that's poorly written, I assume it's poorly said. So yeah, if you get the spelling right, because I almost didn't pick this one because it's separate, something's wrong about that. Just a pro tip for you. Maybe that's awful of me, maybe it's not, but it's just one of the biases I have in my head. But yeah, do you think 4J will implement the new end as a separate world or an extension? If I had to guess, because we have no idea right now, I would say they would make it a separate world, but they'd make it look like it's part of the same world, because there's a few different, in the way that, this is something I learned from the modders. Basically, the way a console world works is it's not actually one world that goes up to 256 blocks. There's two worlds combined into one. So when you get past 128, you seamlessly switch from one mod to the other. And it's really cleverly done, so you never see anything, but it means that the game doesn't have performance issues because you're in two separate worlds. It's really, really bizarrely done, but that is what I imagine they might do, where you're in technically another world, but it looks like it's the same world. So yeah, do you think they'll implement the new end as a separate world or extension? I would guess separate world, but who knows? They might be able to do it seamlessly. We can't tell until we really dig into the code, because I think they'll try and do it as close to the PC as they can. So yeah, with that said, let's move to the next question, which comes in from Micah Sherry, or is it Mika? Anyway, they say hashtag QnA. You don't need to do that, by the way, but sure. So Kat, what is your favourite console, game, and controller? So this is a really good question. I guess we'll kind of go backwards, because my favourite controller is pretty easy. Controllers used to suck. Have you ever seen an N64 controller? It's so cool, but the actual design of it was pretty bad. A lot of people got really bad, is it friction burns from the main stick? It had 3 candles. What are you meant to do with that? Whereas you look at the Xbox One controller, in my opinion, bear in mind, just my opinion, I know it's not objectively, I think it is the best controller ever. It's just the right way. It goes from your console and the PC perfectly. And I don't know, to me, it's just the most comfortable controller. So, favorite controller, the Xbox One. Favorite console, excluding the internals and stuff, it's got to be the GameCube, right? It's a cube, and it's tiny, and it's got the cutest little software. And my favorite game, I go back and forth on this so much. I love Super Mario 64, I love Portal, and I'm like, ooh, which one? I think it might be Undertale at this point, because even though it's not a great game as a game, it's the game that made me laugh the most. On my second channel, I just decided to play it, thinking, oh, what is this thing? I'm just going to get it out of the way. And I laughed for like hours, and I kept recording more and more, because I was like, this is the best. So Undertale might be my favorite game, which I'd love to play on the GameCube with an Xbox One controller. Micah Sherry, so that's the answer to your question there. Let's move to the next one, which comes in from Joshi32003. Oh, that rhymes. Nice. Tweaker, or is it Frey maybe? Anyway, Tweaker, if you had no choice between moving closer to London or moving further away, which would it be and why? Well, obviously closer to London, right? Because the thing, okay, so this is the sort of like thing that people listen to me say, and they're like, you know, that's slightly wrong, but there's nothing I can say about that. I feel like if everyone had the choice, the very centre of London would be the perfect place to live, because I mean, the only reason everyone doesn't live there is because you have to pay, you know, several million to have any form of house near there, so you kind of have to sacrifice something just to live there. So yeah, I feel like that would be the perfect place for everyone, and if someone just gave that to me, like, oh, you have to go there, yeah, I'd take it. But if you just mean like I have to move closer and, you know, I guess spend my own money or something, yeah, I'd love to live close to London, because I feel like that London is the centre of the UK. Like, if you want to go from anywhere in the UK to anywhere else, you probably go through London. And also because London has like the most airport traffic, it's kind of the centre of the world. So yeah, I'd love to live in the centre of the world. And if I move closer, I just move closer to the centre, which again sounds so ridiculous to say out loud, but that's genuinely my opinions on it. Because if you so there's this little triangle in London where you're right next to King's Cross, St Pancras, and Euston, which are like 3 major stations, all go to major destinations like Edinburgh, like Glasgow, like you can go to anywhere from those 3 stations, or a lot of places, and then also you have access to 6 airports all within an hour from there. That's like the very centre of the world. I hate to say it, but that's my opinion. Anyway, let's move to the next question, which comes in from Felix DV, who says, IBX Toycam, do you have any other console except Wii U and Xbox One? Yes, I have a PS4, which I don't really use as much, except for like just random games I get for it, and I have a Xbox 360. So the really cool thing about this generation that, like, as a kid I could never do, because you know, as a kid, like, you know, you even as close as the 360 generation, you pick one console in the generation, you get it like 3 years after the generations come out, at least for me, because, you know, obviously family wasn't a whole bunch of money going around. And, you know, you just hope you get it for Christmas one year, and that's actually your console, you stick to it. That's why, you know, that's why there's console fanboys, because you have the one console. And I always dreamt of having all 3 consoles, because then I could play any game I wanted to. And it's pretty cool that that's the situation we're in right now. And they're all, like, next to each other here on my desk, except the Wii U, which is on the floor, where it probably belongs. Anyway, with that said, I just offended like 5% of people out there that are diehard Wii U fans. I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's pretty cool, slightly. Anyway, let's move to the next question, which comes in from Skull 37. What do you think happened to the 4J Studios mashup announced at Minecon 2015? Just to clarify, that wasn't like an announcement, so I feel like I wasn't clear enough in my video, and maybe I messed up on that. So sorry to anyone if I misled you. But basically, the 4J mashup pack was like a fun little proof of concept thing they were playing around with internally. They never mentioned they were going to release it. It's just when I asked if they were going to release it, they said, we could do it, you know, if people want it. So the fact that they haven't released it isn't too surprising to me. I think they might just give it as a bonus for something else. But yeah, they never announced it as like, this is definitely coming. It was just like, oh yeah, here's something cool we kind of did as a little demo. So yeah, let's move to the next question, which comes in from Finn Wolfin, who says, QnA, Toycat, why haven't you chose my question? And also, when 1.9 comes out, will you show us this tutorial on how to successfully use the new combat? Love your videos, by the way. Thank you very much, Finn Wolfin. So, to people, there's every single week, there's a solid, like, 20, 30 people that, like, Toycat hasn't picked my question, and I don't know what to say to, like, that. It's like, okay, so, you see there is 1,000 comments, and I just picked 10 to kind of make a big Q&A list for a video. This isn't like I'm going to answer everyone's question, or I wouldn't spend a whole minute answering stuff like this. The whole idea is to, like, answer questions broadly so that you can kind of, like, I don't know, everyone can watch it and not just the 10 people. And it's kind of like, so you can learn some stuff as we go along, like that London question. Centre of the world, by the way. That's the kind of point of Q&A Saturday, and I know a lot of people are listening to it right now is just, you know, doing whatever they're doing or watching the background gameplay. And that's the point, right? It's not the point to answer all 1,000 questions, or I wouldn't be able to do that. So if you want to have a question definitely answer for sure, try tweeting me. That's probably one of the best ways. Try asking on a Mobcrush live stream. That's also a good way. If it's specifically about Minecraft and updates and stuff, try and ask it on a Minecraft stream, because otherwise I'm just, I try to prioritize the questions that seem like they're relevant. And if your question isn't being answered in any of those forms, maybe it's because, your question doesn't make sense. Or, you're asking it in horrible spelling and I can't even understand it. I know if you want to have a question definitely answered, I feel like QnA SAS is in place. This is a place to, answer a lot of questions that I feel like people are asking me, but collectively, rather than, as 1,000 individuals, because then, QnA Saturday would be 20 hours long. Maybe we should do that one week, but it's a terrible idea if you ask me. Anyway, let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Joe Bodley, who says, Toycat, although 1.9 is the combat update. Also, I believe just about here, I went through the worst death ever. I was fighting one person and fighting another person, and I got slain by a donut. Anyway, let's move on to this question, which comes in from Joe Bodley, who says, even though 1.9 is the combat update, how much of a difference do you think it'll make to the builder-oriented community? Quite a bit, actually, because the new purple blocks are actually pretty darn cool. There's a dragon head, which can be used for a lot of cool stuff. I might show some of those off. And, what difference do you think it'll make? I think it'll make quite a big difference if you're a builder. So, let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Walter the Mighty, who says, so Toycat, do you think it's possible that 4G would ask one of the major building teams to build minigame maps for them? So, I've got the inside scoop on this one, because it wasn't me that asked, it was someone I was with that asked at Minecon, or something like that. I don't know the exact source of the question, but the reason they said that they don't just get build teams in, because, they have to hire their internal team, is because when they're working on something like the Super Mario Mashup Pack world, it is, really important. They've signed contracts for NDAs and stuff, and therefore they can't just get random people in, because you tell your friends that, oh, I'm working on this cool new Super Mario Mashup Pack, and suddenly, they've broken a lot of contracts themselves. So, they hire internal people for that reason. If you want to really badly work on a 4J Mashup Pack, the only way to do it is to literally go to the 4J office themselves, which is something they can't really just say, oh yeah, you have to be here to do. So if you really, really want to, if you've got a building team and you live in the UK, or you're willing to fly to the UK and live there for a bit, I'd say you've got a chance of applying at the art office, and if you've got amazing builds, they might accept you, but they hire people on an employment basis, not on a here, just do something for us thing, which I think is kind of respectable at the same time. So yeah, that said, let's move on to the final question, which comes in from DJ Players Games 1, hashtag QnA. Hi Toycat, what do you do when you're not recording video, or aren't recording videos? Also, I'm a very big fan, and you make very creative videos. I love them all. Thank you very much, DJ Players Game. I appreciate that second bit. But what do I do when I'm not recording videos? So if you don't know, I don't know if this is a secret or not, but if it is, then Toycat exposes Toycat. I actually, 4 days of the week is when I'm recording videos. I record for pretty much the majority of those 4 days, either directly recording like I'm doing right now. Look, I'm recording, but or I'm, doing some form of editing, throwing the questions on the screen at the right time, or I'm doing something as, prep, or, get background gameplay. I'm doing something for the majority of those 4 days, and then the other 3 days a week, I do something like traveling, so head into London, or go to Warsaw, which I'm still going to do at some point, by the way. For the other 4 days of the week, I try to, do something distinct from what I do during those 4 days. One, to make sure that it's extra fun. I love coming back at every Monday and being I'm pumped to, play some Minecraft and find this or that. And yeah, basically the core idea is there's a big part of my videos is coming up with a unique idea. The one about how Minecraft could have been, that just randomly hit me while I was walking back from Tesco's or something. Having I don't know how you get ideas to hit you. There are people that are really good at it, but what I just like to do is do lots of different stuff, and then my mind will wander, and maybe the ideas will come. Because again, a really big part of it is coming up with an idea, testing to see if the idea works, and then making a video on it. Anvil Secrets, for instance. That just happened because I was playing with anvils. But again, something like the how Minecraft used to be, or, the history of Mojang, or there's a lot of videos that require forethought, and then research, and then this and that, which is why my schedule works the way it does. So, yeah, what do I do when I'm not recording videos? A lot of different things, usually trying to inspire my brain accidentally, which I need to... There's people who are really good at that. Maybe I should, learn to. But right now, I just goof around and hope something happens. So, yeah, I hope that's an answer to your question. If it's not, then, I know. I'll just answer it simply and say, playing Minecraft. And I hope you did all enjoy this week's QnA Saturday. If you did all enjoy it, like the video and let me know, because it helps out the channel, and lets us know you do like Q&As. Share it if you really liked it, and subscribe if you are new around here. I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you all very much for watching. This was a pretty long one, and I got an achievement somewhere in there, I think. It shows up in the little thumbnail of this, but I can't find it anywhere in the gameplay, so if you know what achievement it is, comment down below. Actually, someone's already commented before you do, so leave a question for next week down there. And I don't know, hopefully you have a good Saturday. Mine is going to be... I don't actually know what my Saturday is going to be like. Right now, I'm doing something as this video goes live, and exactly what it is beyond me. Maybe I'm playing Minecraft, or maybe I'm in Poland. You know, who knows until we're there. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.